Have you ever wondered what you might expect during construction of a wind farm? You and I have an insatiable appetite for electricity. Come with me and we'll look at the issues relative to wind farms and the communities that they serve. This is the Windfarm Guy. Hi, this is Dennis Stout. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Windfarm Guy. Today we're considering what you might expect during the construction of a wind farm in your area. One of the things you're going to notice are roads. The turbine manufacturers require that the roads along the delivery path be at a certain standard, whether they're public roads or permanent project roads or temporary project roads. Now the public roads that we'll have, or construction companies have a construction engineer that drives the area to determine the areas to avoid. There might be bridges that can't handle the weight, or turns that are too sharp for the blades, or maybe a railroad track that might be a hazard for high centering or something like that. So they'll drive the area, figure out the places that things that they need to avoid, and they'll figure out the best, most direct path to deliver the components. The permanent project roads are ones that are the roads that typically like go to the turbines themselves, like this one, or go to the substation or to the operations and maintenance facility. And they are generally just big enough for a pickup truck to be used during the operation period. But you also have the temporary project roads. Interesting thing about those, some of those coincide with the permanent roads. Say that permanent road actually is going to be used also for a delivery road for some of the components. Well, they make the road bigger to allow for the trucks or to allow for the crane to walk on it or something like that. So those shoulders are considered temporary. Or maybe they build a temporary road between one turbine and another, and that for the same reason, so that it's a straighter path for the delivery trucks to go from turbine to turbine, or a shorter route for the crane to go from turbine to turbine because they don't move very fast. Or another type of temporary road is a turn radius. Some intersections, most intersections, can't handle say the delivery of the turbine blade, and so they put a turn radius in there so the trucks can go through there safely. Another aspect of a wind farm during construction is the digging of the foundations. Every turbine needs a foundation, of course, and so they dig the hole, do the foundation, pour it, and once it sets, they backfill the dirt, and so all you see is the pedestal coming out of the ground, and that's what the tower is actually mounted upon. And then each turbine is connected with a buried collection line, and so there's a trench dug, the line laid, and it's buried, and it all goes to a central location at the substation. And the substation is also, that needs to be built, the dirt work done, foundations poured, and so on. And those are the things that create the most amount, that's where all the dirt work is done, that's what creates the most amount of dust and such. But fortunately, most construction companies are really good about mitigating that dust. But the exciting things really happen when the cranes get active and they start erecting the turbines. They set the tower pieces, they put the nacelle on and the hub, and then they put the blades on, and they do it different. There's a couple of different ways. Some of the older or smaller turbines, they would build the rotor assembly on the ground and then fly that whole thing as one unit. Today, where the turbines are bigger, and especially if it's a windy area, they will attach the blades one at a time, and it's an exciting time. It's pretty amazing to watch, to be honest. I liken it to a symphony or a ballet because there's so much going on. There's so many intermingling things that are happening at the same time, or one right after the other, and it has to be done in a certain way, and it's got to be choreographed, and it just like a symphony or a ballet, and it ends up being a beautiful thing at the end. In the end, that, of course, because it is a construction site, there's a mess that's been made, and everything is cleaned up. The restoration process begins, and the temporary roads are removed, and fences are repaired. Anything that is damaged is repaired, whether it's a drainage tile or culverts or cattle guards. Doesn't matter. If it's been damaged, it gets repaired during that restoration time, because the whole process is messy, especially when weather comes into it. If you're dealing with a lot of rain or wind or whatever, there can be some pretty good damage. but things are restored back to what the landowners would want them to be. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting thing to have a wind farm in your area. Wind energy is an important part of a healthy national energy policy. And I thank you for joining me today. This is Dennis Stout, and I'm the Windfarm Guy. Thank you for watching. Working together, we can make good energy decisions and save our planet. I am the Windfarm Guy.